Moses is one of the most iconic and powerful figures in history, not only in the context of religion, but also as a symbol of masculine strength, leadership, and resilience. Known as the author of the first 5 books of the Bible, traditionally called the Pentateuch, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, Moses' legacy extends far beyond his written work. His life is a lesson in courage, faith, and unwavering dedication to a mission much larger than himself. For men looking to embody strength and purpose, Moses stands as a quintessential role model. A humble beginning, from slavery to leadership. Moses' story starts in Egypt, where he was born into the suffering of Israelite slavery. In Exodus, we learn that Pharaoh, in fear of the growing Israelite population, ordered the death of all Hebrew male babies. In a bold act of defiance, Moses' mother set him afloat in a basket down the Nile River, where he was found by Pharaoh's daughter and raised as royalty. Despite growing up in luxury, Moses never forgot his roots, and his sense of justice was evident when he killed an Egyptian who was beating a Hebrew slave. This action led to his exile from Egypt, forcing him to flee to Midian, where he became a humble shepherd. His humble beginnings as a fugitive and shepherd helped shape his character, teaching him patience, humility, and the skills needed to lead his people later on. This experience shows that leadership is often born out of adversity, not privilege. The Exodus, leading a nation to freedom. Moses' defining moment came when he was called by God to lead the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt. The Exodus is not merely a physical journey, but a profound spiritual metaphor for breaking the chains of bondage, whether they be physical, mental, or emotional. Moses confronted Pharaoh multiple times, demanding the release of the Israelites, and when Pharaoh refused, God unleashed the 10 plagues on Egypt. From the plague of blood to the death of the firstborn, Moses remained a steadfast leader through God's will. His courage in the face of opposition, especially from the most powerful man in the world at the time, highlights his unshakable faith and leadership. Crossing the Red Sea, where the waters parted for the Israelites but closed over the pursuing Egyptians, marked the ultimate display of God's power working through Moses. This event is a lasting symbol of liberation and serves as an inspiration for overcoming impossible odds. The burning bush, a calling of purpose. In the book of Exodus, Moses encounters God through the burning bush. Here, God gives him his life's mission, to free the Israelites. At first, Moses hesitates, unsure of his ability to speak to Pharaoh and lead such a daunting task. His reluctance is something every man can relate to. When faced with monumental challenges, doubt can easily creep in. Despite his self-doubt, God reassures Moses by telling him, "I will be with you," empowering Moses to rise to the occasion. This encounter highlights a profound truth. Great leaders are often reluctant at first, but their greatness lies in accepting the challenge. Moses was also given the power to perform miracles, such as turning his staff into a serpent as a sign of his divine appointment. These signs were not just for Pharaoh, but also for Moses himself, to remind him that with faith, he could accomplish anything. This teaches modern men that faith and purpose can overcome any insecurity. The 10 Commandments, establishing moral law. Perhaps the most widely recognized contribution of Moses is the delivery of the 10 Commandments. Written in the book of Exodus, this foundational set of laws remains at the core of Western morality and legal systems to this day. The commandments encapsulate essential values like integrity, respect, and accountability. Beyond their religious significance, these laws laid the groundwork for the ethical standards that govern societies today, influencing everything from legal frameworks to interpersonal relationships. Moses received these commandments directly from God on Mount Sinai, where he spent 40 days and 40 nights in communion with the divine. The stone tablets became the cornerstone of the covenant between God and his people, symbolizing a new moral order. The 10 Commandments remain a powerful reminder that laws and principles are necessary for a just society, and adhering to them is a hallmark of strong, masculine leadership. Leviticus, the guide to holiness. Leviticus may not be the most thrilling book to read, but its importance lies in the detailed instructions for worship, sacrifices, and moral conduct. This book teaches men that true masculinity isn't just about strength or leadership. It's also about discipline, responsibility, and setting moral boundaries. Leviticus addresses everything from dietary laws to rituals for atonement, emphasizing the importance of living a life in accordance with divine will. Its focus on purity and holiness serves as a guide for maintaining a balanced and principled life. For men today, Leviticus teaches the value of discipline, both in physical and spiritual matters. It also highlights the concept of atonement, a process that involves recognizing mistakes, making amends, and restoring balance. In a world that often glorifies recklessness, Leviticus calls men to live intentionally and with purpose, embodying strength through self-control and devotion. Numbers, facing hardship with faith. The book of Numbers tells the story of the Israelites' 40-year journey through the wilderness, which was marked by constant trials and tests of faith. Despite God's promises, the people often faltered, leading to prolonged suffering. However, Moses remained steadfast, constantly turning to God for guidance. Numbers reveals the struggles of leadership, as Moses had to contend with complaints, rebellions, and the people's lack of faith. One of the most poignant moments occurs when Moses strikes a rock to produce water, disobeying God's command to speak to it. As a result, Moses was denied entry into the Promised Land, a harsh reminder that even great leaders are held to high standards. For men, this teaches the importance of obedience, faith, and humility, even when facing personal struggles. The journey through the wilderness serves as a metaphor for life's hardships, reminding men to remain focused on the goal despite the obstacles in their path. Deuteronomy, the final address. Deuteronomy, the last book authored by Moses, is a powerful farewell speech. As Moses neared the end of his life, he gave one final charge to the Israelites, reminding them of the laws, encouraging them to stay faithful to God, and preparing them for the future. This book is not just a summary of the previous laws. It is Moses' personal plea for the Israelites to maintain their covenant with God. Deuteronomy also contains Moses' recounting of their shared history, highlighting both successes and failures, and emphasizing the importance of obedience and faith. Moses' death on Mount Nebo, after seeing the Promised Land but not entering it, symbolizes the sacrifices leaders often make for the greater good. For modern men, Deuteronomy is a reminder to reflect on one's legacy and the wisdom that will be passed down. Leadership isn't just about personal achievements. It's about ensuring the success of those who come after you. Strength in humility. One of Moses' most remarkable qualities was his humility. Despite his close relationship with God, his role as the leader of an entire nation, and the miracles he performed, Moses remained humble. The Bible even describes him as more humble than anyone else on the face of the earth. This humility was evident in Moses' constant reliance on God and his willingness to intercede for the people, even when they sinned against him. After the incident of the golden calf, Moses pleaded with God to spare the Israelites, offering to have his own name erased from God's book if necessary. This selflessness is a hallmark of true masculine strength, as it shows that leadership is not about ego but about serving others. For men today, Moses demonstrates that humility doesn't diminish leadership. It enhances it by fostering trust and respect among those you lead. Overcoming personal struggles. Moses was not without his flaws. One of the most relatable aspects of his life was his struggle with anger. In Exodus, we read of Moses breaking the stone tablets in frustration over the Israelites' idolatry, and later, in Numbers, his outburst when he struck a rock to produce water rather than following God's instruction to speak to it. These moments of weakness are valuable lessons for men today. No one is perfect, and even the greatest leaders have their personal battles. What matters is how one responds to those challenges. For Moses, these moments were both humbling and transformative, demonstrating that true leadership includes learning from one's mistakes. His ability to continue leading despite his faults shows that overcoming personal struggles is part of the masculine journey. Men can take inspiration from Moses' resilience and commitment to his mission, understanding that setbacks are opportunities for growth. Thanks for watching, guys. If you found this deep dive into the life of Moses inspiring, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more powerful lessons. Leave a comment below on what aspect of Moses' leadership resonates most with you, and share this video with someone who needs that extra dose of motivation today. Stay tuned for more content to help you lead with strength and purpose. Until next time, stay focused, stay strong, and stay motivated.